Welcome to the Art of Service live stream, where we talk business, compliance, and the unexpected power of questions. I say good morning because it is Thursday, the 3rd of February. I was going to say December. It is Thursday, the 3rd of February, and it is 7 a.m. here in Queensland, Australia. My name is Ivanka Menken, and I am the founder and owner of the Art of Service, and we are based in Queensland, Australia. We recently celebrated our 21st year in business, and what better way to celebrate this than a new live stream? Why the live stream? Well, at the end of last year, I asked in a LinkedIn poll what I should focus on for content that I post on LinkedIn going forward. And the majority of the responses came back asking for experience shares. And this really resonates with me as I can share my own experiences, and then you can pick up any gold nuggets of values and learnings that you see and that you can apply to your own life or your own business or your own professional career. So my goal for this live stream is to make it part educational, part show and tell, but most of all, I would like it to be conversational and light, but always with the goal of adding value. Think of it as a discussion we would have in the office, or if I'm helping you with your strategy planning session, or maybe even to get ready for a gap analysis. And we just need to sit down and just nut out and identify what is important to include in an assessment to do that gap analysis. And as a former school teacher and accredited trainer, I just love teaching and answering questions. So don't be shy, ask your questions based on my experience and background. So this is a little bit of sort of like the box in which I want to put this live stream, because my background and experience would really suit topics around question-based consultancy, compliance challenges, and gap analysis needs. The other side of the coin, though, is that over the last, say, 22 years, I've gotten to know a lot of entrepreneurs and professionals with super interesting stories, which is, I actually see a lot of interview style questions coming up. Sessions where I interview my friends, sessions where I interview people that I've met on LinkedIn or, in life. And there's always something to learn from listening to experienced business people. There's always something to learn from listening to consultants, entrepreneurs, investors. And of course, after 22 years in business, I have a few stories to share myself as well, if you're interested in learning from those experiences. My idea is to go live every 2 weeks initially, just to see how things go and how they roll. And then at the end of March, I will reassess if I should keep this schedule or to go weekly or even more often. That all depends on your input. It all depends on whether or not you see value in this and whether or not I can actually share my experiences in such a way that it adds to your career, that it adds to your business, that it adds to your idea of building a better business life. Again, it's all about question-based consultancy. It's all about compliance. And in 2022 that we are now, compliance is so important. It's actually more important than ever before. But I would love to hear your input for it. So leave comments or messages or email me on what topics you would like me to discuss. I'll just actually put my email address right here. Yep, there we are. So email me with questions or topics you would like me to discuss, because that way we can keep it actual, we keep the content valuable for you, and maybe you would like me to share an experience on a topic, or you can also request that I do a deep dive into a specific topic so that I can really get into the nitty-gritty details. I can do PowerPoint presentations, just like the olden days. I'm also thinking, and I'm not 100% sure yet, because I know that most of the people I connect with are in North America, but there's also a lot of people in the UK and Europe. So currently I'm thinking of doing this time slot, which would work really well for the US and North and South America. But I'm thinking that maybe I should also pick a time slot that works better for Europe, which is about 12 hours from now. So that way there's the opportunity for everybody to connect live to the sessions and ask live questions. So again, let me know if that's something that you would see as value, if that is something that you really want to be part of the live sessions, or you go like, nah, I'll just sit in with the recorded sessions. I'd love to hear your input on that one. The other thing, this is an introduction, so I'm really sort of going through my ideas and things that I feel could be a bit of interest. The other thing that I was thinking, I could actually interview you. So if you want to be interviewed, if you want to share your story, your business story, your compliance story, your consulting story, stories about pitfalls that you've gone through and experienced and that you've risen out of like the phoenix. If you want to be interviewed in one of the next ones, contact me with your information. We'll have a chat and we'll set up a time to make it happen. But I just realized that I'm just waffling on about the live streams. Let's do a formal introduction. Hi, my name is Ivanka, and I am the owner and co-founder of The Art of Service. And as you can hear by my accent, I am not born in Australia. Before starting The Art of Service, I used to live and work in the Netherlands. And that's where I gained experience as a management consultant. I mostly helped IT organizations with their transformation to improve their IT service design, their development, maintenance, and support. And some of the learnings from that period, for example, working as a test manager for an insurance company. I was working as a test manager on their Y2K program, because remember the year 2000 when everything was going different, and also on the Euro program, because at that point, the Dutch guilder was turned into the European coin, the euro. So there were a couple of really big test programs happening for that insurance company. And it was eye-opening, like the risk involved in single point of failure programs and the lack of development and process documentation. That really, really brought down the question, or the importance of documentation, of sharing information, of breaking down silos within organizations. And then during my years as management consulting, I really developed a deep understanding and love for the importance of business processes and policies that are translated into processes and procedures and action plans. And it actually turned out that I'm a very hands-on executive who likes execution and implementation just as much as planning and strategy. This experience, both as test manager, as product manager for an IT training company, as well as being a management consultant, it really taught me the value of understanding the company culture and people interaction within a company. Because every business has people, and most people get very frustrated with their business because the lack of clarity in their culture, in their policy, in their processes and values. So that brings me to The Art of Service. The other co-founder of The Art of Service is Gerard Blokdijk, or Gerard Blokdijk. And he has a strong background and experience in security management, programming, and also as CIO of an energy company. And I will invite him to do another live stream with me, where he can do a full introduction of himself and an overview of his background and his journey that brought him to The Art of Service, because I really feel that will give you an understanding of why we started The Art of Service together and what we feel that we can offer in terms of value to the business community. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do the next live stream in 2 weeks' time, and that will be an interview. I'm going to interview Gerard about his story, his background. But now, back to The Art of Service. So officially, it's 22 years in business, and it's registered as an Australian company 21 years ago, on the 1st of February, actually. We started The Art of Service as a consulting business. We were helping IT departments and IT organizations to manage their services mainly. But customer demand saw us adding more training and accredited certification courses to our own portfolio of services. And then in 2002, we went online with our very first e-learning program. That was quite an adventure because it wasn't as easy as it is now. So just imagine 20 years ago to deliver e-learning or online learning. That was very educational. From the moment we arrived in Australia, because Gerard's Dutch as well, so from the moment we arrived in Australia, which was in June 2000, our IT service management health scans were a great tool to help organizations to assess their positioning and their status quo, specifically in relation to the implementation of service management frameworks. And we developed relationships with amazing partners and resellers across pretty much every continent, except for Antarctica. One of the highlights of my travels and meeting our resellers was actually a trip to Brazil and Mexico, where I trained our trainers, and together with our reseller, we organized a cloud computing conference for C-level executives in Rio de Janeiro. That was an experience. I actually searched for the photos when I was preparing for this live stream, and that happened in November and December 2008. So quite a long time ago. But it was really interesting, like doing a train-to-trainer program and running certification courses with people that only speak Portuguese. And, they had like the instantaneous translation thing in their ear because there was a translator at the back of the room. It was really, really interesting. Our consulting services within the Art of Service actually always focused on process improvement and organizational change management. And many of our clients used ISO 20000, ISO 27000, or 38500 standards to help them with the structure of the implementation. And on a personal note, I got a lot of satisfaction from guiding these companies in their ISO certification journey, because it's so wonderful to see the practical benefits of implementing the ISO standards. When companies move beyond the red tapes and the pitfall of becoming rigid and inflexible. That is really interesting to me. And agility may be a hot topic right now, but it has always been a way to future-proof companies and businesses, and we've always focused on that. So that leads me to our current focus, or it's always been our focus, if I'm really honest, it leads me to the focus on question-based consultancy. Because our philosophy and principle is that we do not ask enough questions. And because we don't ask enough questions within our businesses, it leads and it results to executive decisions being made based on assumptions and historical performance. But when you think back, you as a business person, you as a consultant, when you think back at the most valuable assignments that you've done, the most successful implementations that you've done, the most successful change programs that you've processed, what was the difference? What was the difference between that program and any of the other programs? And I'm fairly certain that the difference was the fact that you asked a lot of questions, and you asked questions that you thought were most likely mundane, like everybody knows the answers to these questions, but it actually got people stumped because everybody thought they knew the answer to the question, but nobody actually asked the question. So there is a lot of value and there's a lot of strength in question-based consultancy. And that's where we're at the moment. So next time, our next live stream, which is in 2 weeks' time, next time I'll be interviewing Gerard about his journey to the Art of Service and the vision that led to the Art of Service self-assessment toolkits and our critical capabilities in Kanban format. So we'll do a walkthrough of the toolkits, and you can really see how that question-based consultancy is at the foundation and as a guiding principle through all these products, and how it will help you in your organization. So it's a walkthrough just to let you know how our clients use these products currently to quickly do a gap analysis and a status quo benchmark. But in the meantime, if you have other things that you would like me to talk to, if you have other topics that you would like me to address, please send me your questions. Please send me your comments, your feedbacks, and your topics. And even better, if you want to feature on our live stream, you can always reach me by email. So email me. See below. There should be an email address here. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a lovely Thursday, and don't forget to send me your questions. Bye for now.